Good evening or afternoon, Facebook land. Mel here, how are you? For my weekly 4 o'clock live. And today what I'm going to talk about is how to feel like $1 billion. People ask me, how do you have so much energy? How do you remain positive? How do you stay fulfilled? And I work at it every single day. It doesn't just happen. It's, hello, how are you? It's something that I've had to work on for my whole life, really. When I wasn't working on it, when I didn't know about, how to feel good, I felt really bad. I felt very anxious, very depressed, and life was really hard. And so thankfully for that pain, got absolutely sick of it. And then so I started to move towards pleasure. And my greatest gift was when I started a daily practice of deep breathing. This was years ago now. I was sick of my anxiety and I started to practice 5 minutes of deep breathing every day. And I did it for 30 days, and after I ended those 30 days, I had no anxiety for 2 hours. It was like this magic pill that I'd been waiting for. And so I started to build on that, and then now I have quite an array of things that I do every day that allow me to feel like $1 billion, allow me to feel like $1 billion. And so I thought I would share it with you after all of the comments and the questions. And what I did is I made a book. Be a Billionaire. Creating a daily practice of feeling like a billionaire to bring out the billionaire in you. And this is something I've been working on. This is what I've done for myself for quite some time. And I've just used my old and then different other ones, and so now I've made my own and I've put it all together, so it's there for what to do in the morning and then what to do in the evening. So I want to share that with you. Hello. And this is what I do in the morning. I start my day with mirror work. And I'm going to share the science behind all of this, is why you do it. So as soon as I get up, go to the toilet, you look in the mirror, you wash your hands. I look into my eyes and I do mirror work, which is I send, hello. I send some affirmations. I look into my eyes and will send some positive affirmations. Not any old affirmations, the ones that I'm working on, and through the release of my limiting belief systems, what I've become aware of and what inner child I'm working with. And then I look into my eyes, I imagine looking into the eyes of that inner child that I'm working with and sending her love or whatever affirmation. So what's coming up at the moment is significant, telling her she's significant. She wasn't feeling significant, so that's what came up recently. And then what you do is you look into your eyes, you pass that unconditional love, and then you feel that unconditional love come back through your heart. What that does is it builds what's called the limbic system. So the limbic system sits behind the brain, sits behind the eyes, behind there, and that's where the seat of what's called the autonomic nervous system sits. So that's the seat where there's either we go into stress or we go into relaxed mode. So when you look into your eyes and you pass unconditional love, you build that emotional center to go into the relaxation zone. So really, really simple. It takes about 2 minutes. It takes 2 seconds. You just look into your eyes and do it. Well, you want to give it a little bit of time. And then that starts to build your limbic system, the emotional system in the brain. So it's shifting into the relaxation zone. So that's the first thing I do. Here we go. This is the morning ritual. Then exercise, whatever that looks like. Yesterday I did Pilates. Today I didn't do exercise. Yeah, I'm not into big, massive, crazy exercise anymore. I do more gentle things, going for a walk. Then I do my meditation. My meditation now consists of 6 minutes of deep breathing, where I do I don't even know how to explain this. I've never told anyone this. I It's like I got it off Dr. Joe Dispenza, where you take a massive deep breath and you move it up all through your body, and then as you're doing it, you hold all your abdominals really, really tight. It actually puts your body in a stress response, and then you move the air, the oxygen, right up. And what this does is it cleans out all the fear-based emotions that get stuck in the lower part of our body, and it moves it all up into the brain, and you hold your breath for 10 seconds, and then that transforms that energy, and I do that for 6 minutes. Then I do a Future Now meditation, which I've put together, made myself, for 15 minutes. Then I sit on my bed and I do some writing, and I write my intentions for the day. So the reason to do meditation, or what I like to call deep breathing, is because as you take deep breaths, you stretch the vagus nerve down in the bottom of your stomach, which sends a message to the brain to access the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. And also it brings beautiful oxygen into your brain, to your body, which makes you feel alive, which gives you energy. It's something really, really simple, something free we can all do that we don't do. And it's what we need the most is oxygen. So sitting and doing that daily practice of deep breathing. I don't like to use the word meditation so much because there's so much judgment around that. You think, oh, I can't do that, I can't stop thinking. Well, you're not supposed to stop thinking. You still think, but you become aware of your thoughts, and then you come back to the process of whatever meditation that you're going through, so that you're not focusing on those thoughts and going down that pathway. And when you stop your thoughts, what you do is you allow your brain to get what's called into theta brainwave state. So that's slower brainwaves rather than being in the fast beta brainwave state. And when your brain is in a slower state, well, you have more awareness. You notice more things, and then you can change. You have the power to change what you're doing, your habits, your behaviors, things like that. And from that theta brainwave state, when you slow your brainwave down as well, you get more energy, because it takes a lot of energy to have a really fast brain. And as you learn how to slow your brain down, that also gives you back energy. So then I sit down and do my intentions. The point of, here goes the internet. The point of doing intentions for the day is to activate your reticular activating system. So it's a part of the brain that is the gatekeeper for information, what information comes in and what information doesn't. And you want to open up this gateway so you're getting the right information coming in to affirm your intention every day. And the first thing I start with, always, is who do I want to be? How do I want to feel today? Rather than do. We're over that business, the doing. It's all about who do I want to be today, and embodying that energy and being in a state of love, so a state of calm, a state of peace, rather than being in a state of fear, which then gets you doing in fear and then having more fear in your life. So, all right, how do I want to feel for the day? My why, so that allows me to connect to my heart rather than living in the head. My goal for the day, so what I want to achieve for the day, and then I write down what my action is, so what actions I'm going to take to fulfilling that goal for the day. So it's really good for high achievers, because we like to have lists, and sometimes our lists get a bit too big. And so this is just keeping it nice and simple, just a little thing, and then once we've achieved, which we always do achieve those actions for the day, we are very pleased with ourselves, and it builds fulfillment from within. And then I write what I'm grateful for about the day. And also, very, very important, I learnt this, I learnt this from Mel Robbins, was setting your quit time. So I write there finish time and what my reward is. Really, really important for high achievers that work too hard, who love what they do but can overdo it. So I'm accountable to myself at the start of the day of what time I'm actually going to finish. Otherwise, what you end up doing is overworking. And when you overwork, you think you love it. Yeah, you do love it, but it actually makes your brain tired. And then that accumulates, and then by the end of the week, you're feeling exhausted. So, set my quit time in the morning and really work on being accountable to myself for that to happen. And then write in what your reward is. So you give yourself a reward because you're doing a great job, you're alive again today, you didn't lose it, whatever. And what that does is it secretes dopamine into the brain, which is a feel-good hormone. Perks you up, makes you feel good. So everything I do is actually backed with science. I don't just do stuff because it's a good idea. I like to know why, I like the rationale, and I like to know it's going to work, which it does. Then what I do is a process of journaling. And then I just write, how am I feeling today? And I just allow that to come through. And I allow that, as I write, allow it to slip into my subconscious mind. So it's the part underneath the surface that is controlling our everyday. Hi. And it again. And then allows me to make newer conscious decisions. So you just write, it's all about acknowledging and being okay with what your feelings are. Sometimes we feel great, sometimes we feel flat, and it's actually allowing us to be okay with that. Because when you don't judge your emotions, they move quite quickly, actually. But when we judge them, we keep them there, and our brain keeps making them, especially the fear-based ones. Well, yes, because they are quite addictive to our brain, and it keeps wanting to attract more. And we're in very much a stage right now where the fears are coming up, which is a very addictive emotion for our body. It likes to create more fears, more dramas, more things to worry about. So it actually gets this rush. And then, the other thing I do, which is not in the billionaire diary, is I dance. Just before I go into the office, come in here, I do a dance. It just sets me in good vibe, good inspiration, feeling upbeat for the day. So that makes, I get into the office, I'm feeling really fantastic, and then I'm ready to serve, and I've got good energy. And I always say you give out your overflow. So I'm not feeling depleted, I'm feeling uplifted, and people feel that energy, and I'm not depleting my own. Because when you deplete your own energy, it's called willpower. And when you deplete your own willpower, you're back, and then your body starts to run off the adrenaline, the cortisol, which is the stress response. It causes a lot of damage then, and we get that inflammatory response. And when we're living off adrenaline as well, we go along for a while and then we crash. We either crash through sickness, we either crash through feeling exhausted, or we crash through feeling quite depressed. And that's designed by our body, so it gets a rest. And so it's about learning to give our body a rest before we have the need to crash. And then at night, I do a process of gratitude. So gratitude is, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? And this is the game changer for myself. It goes into it again, but it's about being grateful for yourself, and that builds self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, and it allows that reticular activating system to start to focus on what's good, what we're doing well, rather than what we're not doing well, because our brain is very good at 7 times more likely to look at the negative rather than the positive. So I write down 3 things. I actually don't. I write 1, but in my new diary, I've created 3 things. So maybe that's obviously where I'm going, is write 3 things that I'm grateful for about myself today, what I've done or what I haven't done, and maybe I haven't done something and I didn't judge myself. That's something to be grateful for. Being kind to myself, being compassionate to myself, where in the past I would have pushed myself and been, my worst friend, my biggest enemy, let's say. And then what you do is you write down through connection of how it makes you feel. What this does is it allows the body to emit higher vibrating emotions of love, of peace, of gratitude into the body. And then though the brain's making those emotions overnight, because the subconscious is still active overnight when you're asleep. Well, it's very active. And if you go to bed in a state of gratitude with these high vibrating emotions being made, then you get less energy. because it's the fear-based emotions that take a lot of energy to make. And so if you go to bed in worry and thought, what I haven't done, oh my God, well then, oh God, I can't even say that, it makes my brain hurt. Then you feel that fear. So the fear, your brain is making fear-based emotions all night, which totally drain your battery, and then you're absolutely exhausted. So if you connect to how it makes you feel, having that gratitude for yourself, and you do that a process of 3 times. You break that down so you get deeper and deeper. Initially, it will come as a thought. It won't actually come as a feeling because we're human doings, human thinkings, until you start to get more relaxed, more in your parasympathetic nervous system, and you start to feel more. And then you'll start to feel more love, and it makes you feel very peaceful and relaxed. And then you get a much better quality of sleep. Boom. And then I go off to sleep. And then I make sure when I get up, I don't snooze. That's the other key. And the other thing that I've mentioned in my Joyful Entrepreneurs group this week is I also practice, which I haven't done well this week, is sleep hygiene. So no technology 1 hour before going to bed, because that technology has your brain in hyper alert and feeling unsafe and pinging, and then in that very much that beta fast brainwave state. And then you go to bed in that brainwave state, and then which happened to me because Sunday night and Monday night I had talking to friends on the phone, worked late Monday night, too much technology, went straight off to sleep, and then of course I wake up at 3 a.m. because my brain it's feeling it's unsafe, it's pinging I'm unsafe, and it wants more of that. So became very aware, and I've been practicing back too. It's good though, because when you don't do things, you actually realize that they do work. And so, much better quality of sleep without that sleep, in doing that sleep hygiene. So that's just a few tips on how to feel like a billionaire. And it takes work, it takes practice. Our body's very addicted to feeling like shit, let's say. It really is. It gets more of a rush from those fear-based emotions than the loved ones. So it takes consistency, it takes accountability to yourself, and building habits. And then as I always teach you start with one thing, you do that for 30 days, that becomes a habit, then you do the next one, and you just keep adding and building on it until you come up with this. And this is just my normal. Every day of the week, even on the weekends, I do it because it's just so ingrained in me, and I'm addicted to feeling good rather than feeling like rubbish that I did most of my life. So there it is, the billionaire, and there's Ed. Thank you, Ed. Your team has beautifully made these for me. I'm so grateful. Can't wait to get some more. And if you want one, let me know. They're $25 and it will change your life. You'll feel like a billionaire. Why not? Everyone deserves to. So much love to you all today. Have a magnificent weekend. We're nearly there again. Oh, this time is absolutely flying. And if no one told you today, you're awesome. Mwah. Bye.